Early November saw a power shift here in Washington as Republicans took control of the U.S. Senate following significant election gains. Republicans are now in the majority in both houses of Congress, and analysts are questioning whether some long-stalled international trade agreements might now move forward. Jim Rendell is VOA Economics Editor. Thank you so much for joining me, Jim.
Happy to be here.
If you can start off by telling us a little bit about these trade deals. What do they really mean for people?
There's three things that are making headlines right now. One is a deal between the United States, or a proposed deal between the United States and the European Union. Two huge economies, a lot of trade. It's a big deal. It's not done. It's not anywhere near done. The other is a deal between the United States and many other Pacific nations. And it's not just bilateral with the United States. It's a trade. This deal would be, if it was approved, would be between all of these countries. And the third one is in the United States. It doesn't deal with any other country. It deals with the United States Congress, and that's called the Trade Promotion Authority. And that's seen as important. If that doesn't go forward, it's much more difficult to make a deal with other nations if you don't have everybody in Washington on the same page. And the idea is that if American diplomats make a deal with Brazil or Japan or whoever, they don't want Congress to go in. Congress has to approve these deals. They don't want Congress going in and changing, the 1,000 pages of this 1,000-page deal. And so Congress, if this Trade Promotion Authority went forward, Congress would be able to vote yes or no. They would not be able to modify it. And so that's pretty controversial, but we'll see what happens.
And some of these deals have been held up in Washington for a long time. What would it mean if they go through?
Well, supporters say that a successful trade treaty would increase trade. Increased trade, they argue, helps economic growth. Economic growth helps create wealth and jobs and prosperity. Now, that's the business, Republican, conservative view. The liberal, democratic union view is that previous treaties, and perhaps these as well, their view is that this has cost jobs, and that jobs have been exported, and that the United States has not driven a very good deal, at least not for American workers.
Do you think that the global economic situation is moving towards a positive trend, and that's why we're talking about these deals right now?
I think these deals take so long, they're so complicated.
The motion is not agreed to.
That it takes place over years, and the economies go up and down and back and forth in the interim, and so they move forward. Obviously, a prosperous world is an easier one to make a deal in. I think that's your fundamental point, and you're correct. But I think right now China's slowing down. The European Union has big problems. The United States is growing a little better than other places. So the economy is not as robust as people would like.
And China is not a part of these
Correct.
trade deals.
And that's very important because China's the second biggest economy on earth. It's one of the fastest growing ones. It's very important. But the United States and China are working on other trade issues, and that's going to be. China just as part of the culture just drives a really hard bargain. So maybe it's just as well that's not, because it would be really tough.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. VOA Economics Editor Jim Rendell, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.